Activating Change Today, otherwise known as ACT, is Baxter's initiative to help fight racism, end marginalization, and advance social and clinical justice for the community. ACT is integral to Baxter's mission to save and sustain lives. We are hopeful that our work will play a role in addressing this persistent issue. Just Voices is a series of stories by the Baxter ACT initiative that will shine a light on men and women and their experiences with racial injustice in healthcare. These stories bring to life the staggering statistics and amplify the voices of the marginalized. The movement has begun. The focus is clear, and the time to act is now. We ask for your support, action, and courage to help end racial and social injustice. At 21, a year after college and away from her family, Kelly encountered her first significant medical issue. This is her story.
I had lost my balance twice, had ringing in my ears and blurry vision, and I thought, it's not normal. My dad said, look, if anything's going on, you need to get an MRI. Make sure you ask for one. I decided to go to the doctor and get it checked out. So I go to that appointment and I immediately felt uncomfortable. And the doctor goes, are you sure you're just not scared to be away from your parents? Are you sure that you really are having these symptoms? Are you nervous? Is it stress? And I said, I want an MRI. The doctor said, I don't really want to give you an MRI. I think that you just need to maybe go see someone to help you de-stress from being new to the area. And I think you'll be okay. Take some Tylenol. So I said, I'm not leaving until I get an MRI. I want an MRI. And then I got the MRI and everything changed. When I got my results, the doctor was a lot nicer to me. Please have a seat. Totally different interaction. And they told me that I had a tumor. Not only did I have a brain tumor, but I had a tumor the size of a large pear. And it was the first time that I felt, one, vindicated, that something was going on with my body. But two, it's the first time that I felt that I wasn't being heard.
Kelly had the tumor removed within 2 months and had to learn to walk again. Now, fortunate to be alive, she has gleaned a vital lesson on survival.
Never again will I be sitting in a situation that I'm not going to advocate for my own health. And never again am I going to sit in a place where my voice is not being heard. I've been married for about 2 years now. Right after we got married, we decided we wanted to have kids right away. We tried for 6 months, nothing happened. It's something that you feel sort of like a failure. I was supposed to be born to carry a child, and it feels like your body failed you. So I took on a lot of that guilt.
Kelly sought a specialist and registered with the only 2 Black OBGYN practices in Dallas-Fort Worth that were accepting new patients, despite an 8-month wait list.
And I thought, maybe I can go find someone else to help us in the meantime. So I found a doctor, and when I sat and told him, he first asked me what were the most recent vaccines that I've taken. And automatically, without doing any blood work, any looking at my body at all, was told me that because I took a COVID vaccine, that's probably why I'm infertile. And this was also a referral from a friend who is white and having some of the same issues. I leave and I get a suggestion on what vaccines I shouldn't be taking and to take a couple of drops of white pine needle extract, and maybe that would help me actually conceive. Not the same experience as my girlfriend, who was white and told me that they did all these testing on her blood, tested her husband to try to figure out what was going on with her fertility. I was completely thrown off.
Yet again, it's another time that I'm not being taken seriously and I'm being treated differently. And why? It's disappointing because not only is the fertility journey difficult enough, but this is my first time trying to be a mom.
The lack of diversity in the staff, I think, is a hindrance. On average, Black women are more than 3 times likely to die from pregnancy-related complications. And sadly, 84% of these deaths are preventable. to help encourage people of color to feel safe in the space, to explore the treatments. Diversifying the staff is severely important.
18 months into her fertility journey, Kelly's husband, Ben, received a referral to a diverse group of physicians.
In that office, I saw a lot of diversity. I saw women that looked like me. I saw a doctor that looked like me. I saw interracial couples. And it was the first time that someone actually sat down with me and said, I want to help you. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's look at everything. Let's look at your history. Let's look at your husband's history. Let's give you all the blood work, everything. It was incredible to actually have someone for the first time listen to my voice, care about my health care, take the time with me.
So fertility treatment is like kind of taboo. For years, it was just something that I've heard a lot of patients say, oh, Black people don't do that. It's just had some cultural stigma around it. And so it didn't even seem attainable to a lot of people of color because we didn't even see it in media.
And when I did feel comfortable opening up to a colleague, the first thing out of his mouth was, well, Black people don't have any issues conceiving. You don't need to go down that route. That's crazy. Black people have babies all the time, easily, every day. And for someone who's already struggling and has been trying to do all the right things to conceive, that's the last thing I wanted to hear, especially as a woman of color.
Insurance is another big issue for access to these types of services. Most times Medicaid plans don't have that as a benefit. So those moms don't even have the opportunity to explore fertility treatment or services, even if they wanted to, because it's not a covered benefit.
I don't know about anybody else, but we just didn't have $35,000 laying around. You know, most insurances don't cover anything when it comes to fertility. Baxter offered a benefit with Progeny, which is a fertility benefit. And that fertility benefit helped cut the costs in half and be able to start our family earlier. It took us a year to go through the IVF process, all the shots, all the medications, doing egg retrieval, but we have 4 normal embryos. We're really lucky to have those 4. Some people only come up with 1 or none. And excited to say that I'm gonna be a mom really soon. Actually, within the next couple weeks, I'm gonna get to meet our little boy. 9 months pregnant today. So we're really excited that we're at the end of our journey, at least of pregnancy and going into parenthood. Can't wait to meet my little guy. I think about how I probably wouldn't even be here today if I didn't advocate for myself. And how lucky I'm so lucky to be alive. And I'm gonna get a chance to be a mom. I'm very excited to be a mom and to be here. And if I didn't advocate for myself, God, where would I be? And if I can give advice to anybody else, women of color or not, is to always advocate for yourself. Always ask questions. If you're not getting what you need, try to seek out another option. Never be afraid to use your voice and elevate your voice and be heard and advocate for your health, because you are the only one that would actually have to deal with the consequences if you're not being heard. Don't ever give up. Keep pushing until you get the answers that you need, and you'll get there eventually.
I feel like the first way that we can help mitigate is acknowledge the history and have some hard conversations about it, and then talk about bias that people bring in. We need to call it what it is. In order for us to really fix the problem, we have to identify it first and then work through it collectively and collaboratively.
Baxter is committed to improving health outcomes for everyone, regardless of race, gender, or socioeconomic background. Through our own abilities and strategic partnerships, Baxter maintains a steadfast commitment to advance a more equitable future in healthcare for all.